Okay, I am building the cover for the Home Again coffee table book. Had to stop and think what I wanted to say here. I have covered a few of the pieces, but I saved enough to show you in case you haven't wrapped an album cover like this before. This is one of the spines. This is my flap that will close it, and this is either the front or the back. So we will do the other large piece together, and you will have a cut list showing you exactly what to cut. For the chipboard, it's going to be two pieces, 7 by 8, one at 3 by 8, which is this flat piece. Where'd it go? This one? No. This one, 3 by 8. Then you will have two spines. One will be 1 by 8 and one will be 7/8 by 8. Then on your cardstock, now this is all in your cut list, so you don't have to write it down. On your cardstock, for the larger pieces, we leave a 1-inch border all the way around, so 7 by 9, or 7 by 8 becomes 9 by 10 on the cardstock. And then I just take pieces of chipboard that are 1 inch when I lay it down, lay them in here like this, and then of course I've got my score tape sheet on the cardstock or the chipboard, and just lay it down and use this as your border guide. That way you'll have 1 inch all the way around. On these pieces, the spines, we do 1 inch on the top, like that, and a 1/2 inch on the side, or 1.5 inches on the sides. I got a little overzealous there. That one's, well, that's because this is the 7/8. So anyway, we will put these together, and I've already done the other large piece and one of the spines and the flap, but you will see this one is wrapped just like the larger pieces, and then I'll do one of these with you in case you haven't made one this method before. I have filmed this before, but it's always a part of the longer tutorial, and so I thought I would do it separately this time. I don't want to leave anybody out, so if you're new, this should help you out. So once you have added your score tape around the perimeter, what I do first is I fold it under and give it a good crease on all 4 sides. Then add your score tape just beyond that crease, just a little bit, so that you don't have to trim it again. And okay, let's get these all trimmed out. Now, I don't take very much out when I'm trimming these because I can always go back and take out more, but I always have a fear of taking out too much and my chipboard showing. But if that happens to you, if you have a little spot of the chipboard showing, you can always take a black Sharpie and touch up your chipboard. As long as it's not a terribly huge hole, nobody will know the difference. So then you'll want to hold this up and see how it's crooked right there. That's because I didn't take enough out. So just lay your scissors right up against the edge of your chipboard and just kind of roll it to the inside a little bit and just trim that off. And we're going to do that all the way around. See, I left plenty on purpose. And I didn't take enough off of that one. I can see it there. Now the long ends. And this one. See a little nub sticking out there that I don't want left. Okay. Get rid of all of this. Okay. Now, you can do it however you'd like to. I just start with one of the sides. It really doesn't make any difference. And add a little glue right up against your chipboard, just so you don't have a air pocket gap in there. And I add a little bit in there. And take your fingers and push it real tight up against there, and you can use a bone folder as well. And just pull it towards the inside. And burnish it down real good. Okay, and then I like to rotate to the opposite side. Same process all over. Keep looking to make sure I don't have any little nubs sticking out there that I don't want, because I can always trim them off again if I need to. See, and I thought I saw one right there. Let me snip that. See, it didn't make a hole. It was fine. I thought I saw one. I kept looking and looking, but I couldn't visualize it. Okay, and there's that one. Here, take this off. To me, this is just the easiest way to wrap an album cover. You just get excellent square edges every time. Okay, there's that. Okay, I put my pen back. I'm notorious for leaving my pen out too long. I've even left it out overnight and been lucky that it... Oh, I shouldn't have put that back in. I forgot I've still got this one to do. Okay. Now this is the other spine. Remember, it's 1 inch at the top and the bottom and 1.5 inches on each side. One of them will have a little bit more than the other because one of them is 1 inch and one is 7/8 of an inch. But we're going to fold this down just like we did the covers and burnish this really good. Well, come on, tape. There we go. And we'll push this one down. Burnish it real good right up against your chipboard piece. Then let's roll them. Make sure we've got a nice edge on that. And I like to score it on the underside and again on the top. So once you've folded it, you can get a really nice edge on there. Gives you a really pretty straight spine. Okay, there's that. Now I can put the pin back for a minute. There we go. Okay, so the order in which we're going to assemble these are, we're going to have a front and back, with a, let me see which one is the inch. The inch goes in the middle. And we're just, well, we have to trim these down. I forgot to tell you that. We have to trim these down. Like that. Because we don't want all that extra bulk up at the top. So this is the inch. And what we actually do is we add our glue here, put it in your scoreboard. That'll help you make sure you get it really straight. And then the other one will go on this side, just like that. And you glue them down. Let's go ahead and do that while we're here. Might as well, huh? I've seen a lot of people use score tape on this, but I haven't had much luck with score tape. But I think a lot of the reason for me is the humidity here. And you want to be generous with your glue here, because, and I got that a little bit close. Okay, push it right up against there. Make sure it's going to lay flat. And push this right up to your spine. Just like that. Oops, got glue on my finger. It's okay. Design paper is going to cover it. Just press it down really, really good. And then we're going to turn it over and burnish it. Now we're going to do the same thing again. This time we're going to put our glue right here. And we're going to put this one right up to it again. Right up to it. And then we're going to turn it over and burnish it again. Now we need the 7/8 inch piece. So trim those down. We're going to add our glue to this flange. And don't put the glue all the way up to the edge, because you don't want to see your glue. You just want to make sure you've got enough that it's going to stay where you put it. So we're going to slide this right up under here. all the way to the spine again. And I'm going to slide it down some more. And we're going to add glue here. And put our flap. Nope, that one's not in tight enough. There we go. Now let's turn it over and burnish these last two down really good. Now go along your edges and make sure everything's lined up really, really good so you don't have any big bumps where one piece feeds into the next, especially where you've got these foldovers. You can kind of push them back a little bit. Okay, so we have our album cover now, and this is going to fold to the inside. Now, if you want yours to fold to the outside, just simply do this. Either way works. But we're going to need magnets for a closure here. I'm going to lay this back down till this glue sets up a little bit more. I don't want it to pull apart. Okay, now I'm going to cut pieces of cardstock to cover this spine area here. And let me tell you what I'm going to cut them here. This is 8, so I'm going to cut them 7 7/8 by 3.5. Yeah, 7 7/8 by 3.5. So I will do that. I will stick these down and then I'll be back with you. Okay guys, I have cut my two pieces. I've stuck one down and I wanted to show you I have score tape sheet on the back of it. And we're just going to peel that off. I don't have a lot of fingernails, so it's a little precarious here getting a hold of it. There we go. And check your edges and make sure you don't see any sticking over, which I do right here. And you can always pull it back with your finger. Just kind of roll it under. Ah, sticking to me. That looks like a little bit of a crooked cut right there. Let me trim that with my scissors. Okay, so we're just going to, that's going to be real close to the top and the bottom. You don't want it to go over. And then you want to burnish it really, really good, because you've got quite a few thicknesses here. Okay, now we want to find our crease right there and just gently lift it up. And then we want to do the same thing to the other side. And keep burnishing up and down. And you'll get that score tape to fall right into that fold and stick it down. Okay, bring it forward a little bit more. And this one just is the same. Kind of teach it what you want it to do. Okay. Now we've got the base of our album built. And mine is going to go like this. Now you can, like I said, you can put yours on the outside if you want to. But I want mine, I do like the outside though. But I want to use one of the cut-aparts here, and I want to be able to utilize the entire front, so I'm going to put mine on the inside. So I have attached my magnets to the corners. I have the positive stuck down, and the negative is up. So I'm going to take these little peels off. And I'm going to stand it up and line up my edge where I want it, right there. And I'm going to pinch it together. I'm going to make sure the bottom's lined up as well, and pinch it together. Now our magnet should be, there we go. Now I like to put a little piece of score tape over just to protect them until I'm ready to put paper on there, just as an added security. Never hurts. Better safe than sorry. Now, if for some reason you make a wider flange on the inside, you would have to use more magnets, because this will tend to droop if it's too heavy. So you want to watch that too. Now I'm not going to put any score tape over here because I don't want it to be, well, you know what, I could put it the other direction as long as I don't make it too long, because I want to make sure my design paper will cover it. I'll just put a little piece right there, so I know my design paper will cover that. Little piece right here. Okay. Now those are securely in place. Okay, that's it for building the album. Not hard at all, was it? Really quite easy. And look how nice and neat the edges are. Makes a beautiful cover. Alright guys, I am going to cut out my pages for the inside, and part 2 will be building the inside of our album. I'll see you soon. Bye.